Hello. Catching up on the story here from yesterday, from last night. This is the Do or Die Mystery by Jen McKinley. And we stopped at chapter 3 last night, and someone, Lindsey from the library book club, was headed home on her bike, and someone was rushing up behind her in their vehicle. So we're just about to find out who is trying to run her down. Before we get to that, yummy popcorn. I love popcorn with a good movie or a book. We got this Dominic awake doll and the sleeping Elsie. I don't think there is an awake Elsie. And then we've got the fairy, elf fairy. She's not a fairy because fairies have wings. Fairies have wings. So she's not a fairy baby. She's just got the elf ears and she's green. So, but I don't know, we sometimes say fairy when we're referencing an elf unintentionally. So yeah, so there's Dominic awake. He's right now being Elsie's brother. I want to say big brother, but but he's an infant too, just a little bigger than her. And then Ellie. So before I get into the story, I wanted to try to re-weight Dominic because his head is so heavy. It's crazy, insane how heavy his head is, almost as if it's dead weight that I'm holding. It's so much, there's so much weight in here and so much weight in the, I don't know if it's in the, I think like in the bottom part. It's just so much in here that needs to come out. So that's what I want to work on before diving into the chapter. The artist who painted this doll is, oh darn, I had her name in my head and I forgot. Oh, Deja Vu. Deja from Deja Vu Nursery. I actually met her in person for the first time at the Dolls of the World Expo just last month. So I thought that was cool. She noticed me, so I was like so surprised, like wow. And we got a chance to chat up for a few minutes before it was time for me to leave. It was on Saturday at the, well, it wasn't, I don't know if I want to say that it was at the end of the show, but I was definitely heading back to the airport when we were both in the lobby area and she recognized me. And I was so surprised, like, wow. Okay, so I've had this doll from her for about maybe a year and a half, definitely a year. And I have not played with this doll at all. It's just so heavy. So now I just said, you know, why not? And it's been so long that as I'm trying to pull out the sandbag, it's the stocking in there is breaking, it's ripping up. So I need to get a bag. I have a bag on the floor. One second. A sandwich bag. She definitely made it like a real newborn, but it's the weight is just so dead. It's just so much dead weight. Okay, that lighting above was just weird, so okay. And don't worry, anybody, look at that, how cute his little face is. Could be a girl or a boy. Little chubby cheeks. cute little lips. Unfortunate that I have to pour it all out because the bag ripped. I've been in here so long. Let's see how that feels. Still feels kind of heavy. It doesn't even seem like there was all that much sand in there, but it still feels kind of heavy. I'm thinking I'm just going to pour it all out. Because now that the bag is ripped, I can't really secure the sand in there, even if I put the cotton back in there. So I'm just going to pour it all out. If anyone's waiting for the story, I'll get to the story. Hi, Lajubika Tomasovic. Are you from Poland? Poland, or I can't think of what country. Slovakia? Can't think of the country. Hi, Cool Killer. Hi, Natalie, Nandco Marsing. Happy birthday, Amber. Thank you so much, Cool Killer 9000. That sounds like something from a video game. I'm going to read the story. I'm just trying to get the weight out of this doll's head because it's too heavy. It's just way too heavy. I haven't played with it for over a year because it's so heavy. So I just decided, well, now would be a good time to share it. And if I'm going to share it, why not re-weight it? Dr. Freakball. Sorry, it's just dolls. Your uncle plays with video games a lot. Oh, cool. Oh, sorry about the name being wrong. Greetings, Death Slinger Art. I'm just getting the sand out of the head because it's heavy. I don't like that the head is so heavy. Even though the artist did a good job with weighting it, like to make it fit like a real baby's weight, it's just too heavy because the weight, even though it's the same weight as a baby, it's dead weight, you know, and it just feels different. Give you a tour of my house. Shattertoad, ever feel like those dolls stare at you at night? Sometimes, yeah, the ones that are in my room that have the eyes, yeah, sometimes. Yeah, that's happened before where I'll just have a doll sitting somewhere, and then I'll just all of a sudden turn and be like, oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Death Slinger Art. It's okay though, I don't mind. There, that's much better. I don't know if anybody is here to hear the story, but I'm going to read the story too. So, okay, so that's the head. That's the weight for the head. And even with all the sand poured out of the head, it's still mega heavy. So I don't know if I sit it there. I was trying to like put it somewhere where you guys could still see it, but oh well. There. Okay, now this, oh my gosh, this is so heavy. I don't know, I think I may have to take some sand out of the legs as well. This thing is so heavy. If anybody was here for the story, just let me know. I thought I'd, do this first for the doll. So hopefully I didn't mislead anyone who thought that they were coming to the story. Now, let me see. Why on earth is this thing so heavy in the middle? I do feel a lot of weight down in here. I don't know if I can leave the legs as is. Wow. This is a lot. I hope this does not burst open. I don't want all this sand getting all over the place. Let me get this bag ready just in case the stocking burst open or something. This is insanely a lot of weight. Oh my goodness. You know, I think that she said it weighed 6 pounds, the whole doll. But, I don't know, it just still feels so heavy. Lucky user 43, you said you just joined and I scared the daylight out of you while I was holding the baby, while you thought I was holding a headless baby. It's funny. Shatter Toad. I don't know what Shatter Toad said. I didn't see what Shatter Toad said. Where are you guys from? Anybody in the United States? There was somebody who had a name that looked Slavic. I don't know if they answered where they were from. That person in the beginning, did you answer where you were from? I'm just checking to see if you answered where you were from. Let's see here. The person with the Slavic looking name. Oh, they must have. Oh, Lajubica Tomasevic. That sounds Slavic or something. Okay, so there we go. That's a little better now that all that sand is out of there. So now I think it should be okay to leave the legs the way they are, possibly. So I wish I hadn't pulled it out now, because now I got to try and figure out how to get the leg back in here without having to cut the zip tie. The zip ties can be a little tricky with getting them back. So let's see if I can just squeeze it in here without having to get it back in there. I mean, I'm trying to see if I can squeeze it back in here without having to cut the zip tie and do a whole new zip tie. I remember when I was a kid and I had a baby doll, and the zip ties hurt. I remember that. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that feeling with the zip tie, with the knotted part of the zip tie. Boy, this sure is tricky. But it's not hard. It's nothing difficult. It's just slippery. And you got to squeeze the vinyl in there. If you don't want to have to cut the zip tie and redo it. Where are you guys from? Anybody saying where they're from? Viewer discretion advised. Yes, they're dolls. Hi, Sam. No, I don't have any real babies at the moment. Oh, this is like, hard to get in there. You gotta take like a scissors or something. Okay, let's try this one more time. Oh my gosh, now I feel like, now I wish I had never had pulled the leg out. It was easy to get it out, but now getting it back in there is a challenge. I have some scissors that I just put away. Let me grab the scissors. I think the scissors will help. But I think what do you guys like to do? Thank you, Primal Code. Is Fake Kid? Yes, Massimo Miles. What do you guys like to do for fun? What are your hobbies? This is just one of my hobbies. I also like to do gardening. I also like to ride bikes. I like to go roller skating. I like to do puzzles. I like arts and crafts. There's a lot of stuff that I like to do. I like reading books, which is what we're supposed to be doing here in this live. Ugh. If anybody's wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to get the leg back in there without having to cut the zip tie. Because if I cut the zip tie, I have to do a whole new zip tie. And it's really tricky getting those zip ties in there. I almost got it. Almost. With a little determination and not giving up. You can do it, you can do it, you can do it, Cinderella. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, it's in there now. All right, so that's the little baby boy's body. Let's stuff the stuff back in there. Never give up, habitual. Thank you. The dolls are possessed, says Silent Guard. Thank you for being proud of me, Habby Choo. Is it Habby Choo or Habby Cho? Habby Chow. Habby Chow. Habby Chow. You guys, what country are you from? Anybody in the US? Anyone in Germany? Anyone in Slovenia? Anyone in Poland? Anyone in Australia? Okay, there we go. So all the cotton is back in there for the body. Now to put his head back on. Same thing for the head. I did not cut the zip tie because it's just, you know, it's actually not even difficult getting a new zip tie in there. I don't know. So, okay, so putting the head back. All these little pieces of cotton. Thank you for the likes, you guys. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for those who have joined very much. Oh, Algeria. Cool. Happy Child is from Algeria. That is awesome. I don't know if I've ever had anybody on the live from Algeria. That is so cool. So I bet you probably speak German. Deutsch, Aleman, I don't know how you would say German in Algerian language. I don't know what language. I want to say Algeria. You guys speak some part of German and maybe something else. Sprichst du Deutsch? Or should I say Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Arabic and French. Cool. That is so awesome. Wow. Arabic and French. I don't know a lick of French, so I'm not even going to try and say anything. And Arabic is a very special and unique language. So, yeah. Okay, so same thing with the head. Very difficult getting it back in there if you don't cut the zip tie and do a new one. You have to try and squeeze it in there if you're just lazy like me and don't want to cut the zip tie and start a new one. But hey, I almost got it. I almost got it. You can do it, you can do it, says Cinderella. We can make a little date with Cinderella. Oh, I'm gonna do it, you guys. You'll see. Almost. Hopefully it doesn't slip. Just one last little corner. Well, not a corner, just one last little cylindrical of the circle. The artist Deja from Deja Vu Nursery, she did an awesome job painting this doll and rooting the hair, the mohair. I really like mohair. The mohair is soft. There we go. There, I got it back on there, but now the head is stiff and it's not really moving. I guess that's okay. There we go. All right, so there's the little boy. He's got messy hair right now, like mine, but that's all right. Okay, all right, so now put his pants back on. Do they have teeth? Asked Happy Child. Oh, thank you that you said I'm doing well. Thanks. Some of the dolls have teeth. Some dolls, they can like sculpt. The sculptor can either sculpt some teeth on there and then the artist will paint it, or the artist can add teeth to a doll. Like say if the doll sculptor made all the plastic, all the different body parts, but they did not put teeth on there, sometimes the artist will find different materials to add teeth to the doll's mouth. That's if the mouth is open. This mouth is not open, and besides, this is like an infant, and infants usually don't have, teeth. So thank you for the hearts. Curly hair, yeah, it's cute, right? But Tracy said, you've watched a few of my videos, you have cute babies and have a really strong person. You handle the feedback of negativity. Awesome. Everyone can't do that. Keep up the great work. Aw, thank you so much, Tracy Page. I really appreciate that very kind, thoughtful feedback there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so there is Dominic. There he is with the weight out now. Isn't he such a little cute boy with his little baby feet? They look realistic, the paintwork that she did, the artist. So that's the little boy in his little hand. There we go. He's the brother. Dominic is the brother. Zishan Hashmi says it looks creepy. Sorry about that, Zishan, but thank you for joining. Oh, thank you, Habichal. Thank you very much. Thank you, you guys. Thank you for the hearts. So there he is. He's a big baby boy, Dominic. His name is Dominic. That's the name of the sculpt. Look at those little feet. He's got little dinosaur pants on. Isn't that cute? Okay, so that's Dominic. Thank you for the hearts. Okay, there's Dominic, and he's smiling. Anthony wants to know, am I okay? Yes, I'm okay. Thank you, Amandita. Thank you for saying it's cute. All right, so now this one is Elsie. This is his sister. Just a second. Gotta make sure brother doesn't fall over. His head kept falling over before I started the live. I was trying to fix him the best I could. Okay, so this is baby Elsie. I don't know the name of the lady who painted this doll. But I think that she did pretty good. I think that she did awesome, actually. I saw one that was at the doll show, and that lady's doll was so realistic looking. The artist had painted it to look like a boy. Well, rooted the hair to look like a boy's hair. But I think that this lady who did this, and I feel so bad about this artist because the artist who painted this doll, you're supposed to give them a review. Like you're supposed to give them like a 5-star review or whatever you think that how their work was done. And I didn't forget to give her review. It's just I was trying to wait until I shared the doll on my YouTube channel And by the time I shared the doll on my YouTube channel, it was too late to do a review. The website where I had bought the doll from, they only give you so much time to do the review, and I didn't realize my time had already passed. So I feel really bad, and I don't know if this lady probably thinks that she didn't do a good job if I didn't give a review. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to let her know. Yeah, no, Goober Ham Bowers, it's not real. Aloha from Hawaii, CKK bless. Thank you so much. Yeah, it looks real, right, Habit Chow? Hi, Nathan Redman. Um, Dino says Amandita. Okay. KH this brother ew, what is that worm thing? I think you might be talking about back here, K. That's an elf doll, an elf baby, an elf doll baby. I'll show you that in just a second. Hi, Davin, Lewis. Mental health as well. They're just dolls. They're dolls that are painted by individual artists to make them look like realistic babies. And you can dress them up. You can take them out in public with you. You can just, sit them on in your house just, for display. Some people get them just for fun. Some people get them because maybe they lost a baby in real life, or some people get them because they can't have kids. Me, I didn't get them because I can't have kids or anything. I just get them for fun. So, but yes, mental health is doing well. Thanks for asking. How do you get the head off? Cool killer ass. Oh, well, you just pull it off. So there's a zip tie. Let me show you the zip tie. Let me see if I can find the zip tie. There's a thing called a zip tie. You know when you go to the hardware store and when you have to hold something together, or like at the grocery store, like the bread bag, how the bread bag has a twist tie on it. So the zip tie is something like that. You stick one end inside of the hole on another end and you pull it tight, and then it doesn't come loose. So that's how you make sure that the head stays on. And if you want to take the head off, you either use your hands to like pull on it like as much as you can to get it off, or you can just cut the zip tie, but then you'll have to get a whole new zip tie to hold the head down when you put it back on there. Franklin, hi Franklin. It's very inspiring and kind to think about others and their feelings. You're sweet. Thank you, Have a Child. That's so nice of you. Oh, it's okay, Davin. Thanks for asking. No worries. Yes, okay, so that's her. This is the sister. Her name is Elsie. Okay, so now, thank you for the likes and hearts. So now I'm going to show you the elf doll. I really like Elsie so much. She's a preemie doll. She's so cute. She looks like a real little bundled baby. And I gave her little ponytails too. That's her. And then her brother over here. And remember, you guys, when I say her, when I say brother, when I say baby, I'm pretending. These are just dolls, and I know that they're just dolls. And whenever I play with them, whenever I share them on YouTube, I always make sure I tell people that they're just dolls. I don't think that they're real babies, and I don't tell people that they're real babies. And if I take it in public and someone says, "Oh, your baby is so cute," I let them know it's just a doll. I never let people think that it's a real baby. At first, they might think it, but then I tell them. And so you see my shorts, my YouTube shorts, when people think that they're real. And then when I tell them that it's not real, then they're like, "Oh my gosh." So yeah. By the way, you're very naturally beautiful. Your soul, I can tell. Thank you, Davin Lewis. That's so nice of you. Elsie is very beautiful. Thank you, Have a Child. So nice. They're so cute, says Cook Killer. Thank you. Are they insured? Ask Olu. No, they're not insured, unfortunately. If something happened to these expensive dolls, there's nothing I can do about it. Thank you for the hearts, everybody. Okay, so this is the elf baby. I shared this doll on the shorts video, and I also shared it on a live video too. And I got this one from the doll show that I had shared last month. I went to a doll show and a lady was selling this one. And it's so cute because it's got elf ears, little elf ears. And this one is a girl. It's actually anatomical. So it's got a little girl, you know, wee wee down there. And then she's got her little feet and her little hands, and her arms can bend and open so you can pose her. Thank you for the hearts. Yeah, it's expensive. How much are the dolls? Yes, P0TAT0 dragons. Jesus is the King of all kings. Yes, that is correct. The dolls are really expensive. They can be hundreds of dollars. They can be thousands of dollars too. They can get crazy expensive. So yeah. Okay, so this doll smells so good. The lady who painted her made the little dolly smell so good. I put a little bow on her head, and she's got a little ducky outfit on. And look at how cute her little face is. She's got little freckles and everything, and she's got eyelashes. And I don't know if you can see her ear. Look at how cute her ear is. Like there's her elf ear, but then she's got an ear that looks like a little human ear. Isn't it cute? It makes me think of the movie the Ring. It makes me think of the Ring because there's elves and fairies on that movie. And then it makes me think of the cartoon Thumbelina because there's fairies and elves on that cartoon as well. Oh, thank you for subbing, Davin Lewis. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so now I forgot what I was going to do with this doll. I think I was going to change it. It got really dark all of a sudden. I don't know if I need to make it brighter in here. And I don't know if there's a way to do that. Thanks for the likes and everything, you guys. I appreciate it. Okay, so and look at how fat the belly is. It's so cute and fat. Look at that fat baby belly. Isn't it cute? And then the mouth opens up. Let me see if I can find the pacifier. I think I got it back here. I was just using the pacifier earlier. Hold on a second. Let me get the pacifier. If you guys need me to make it brighter, let me know. I'm not sure if I need to make it brighter. It's kind of weird with the lighting. Oh, there's the pacifier. Okay. So, while I'm changing her, I'll put her pacifier on. In her mouth. I think her finger can go in. I'm not sure, but I think her finger can go in her mouth. Let me see. I don't want to break it or anything, but I think it can fit. I think maybe 1 or 2 fingers can fit. I've never seen the artist do it, but let's see. No, I better not try it, but maybe this finger. I think this finger can go in there. Got to be very careful with the paintwork, though. The paintwork and the wiring inside and the silicone. Okay, so right now it's too hard to get the finger inside of the mouth. But thanks for the hearts. But I can at least stick the pacifier in the mouth. She's so cute. Thank you, Davin Lewis. I appreciate you. Oh, no, it's okay. No worries. Thank you for apologizing, but it's okay. I understand. Okay, so I just really like the fat belly. Now she does have a girl body, the body part down there, but I'm not going to show that on screen because I really don't even know like what's allowed with YouTube and what's not allowed. So sorry, I'm not gonna show that. I need a pillow. I've got a pillow somewhere. Here's one. Got a cute elephant pillow down here. Okay, excuse my little bony legs. My little bony legs. Let's see, maybe if I put it here like that. Doesn't it look like a... Oh my goodness, the rabbit just scared me. I've got a rabbit in the background. It's in the cage, but it's back there like making a really loud thud with its back foot. They make those thumping sounds like thumper. Can I shout? Oh, Olive Skit says, can I please shout out your friend Hugh Jazz? He is very sick. I hope your friend Hugh Jazz gets better. Shout out to getting better, Hugh Jazz. Olivia Skit's friend. Calm Sweet, interesting passion. Thanks, Calm Sweet. Oh, you like my earrings. Thanks, Cool Killer. Yeah, actually, the other one is not on there. I put a pearl earring and then the strawberry earring and a moon hair clip. Okay, so let's see. This is what came with it. A nightgown with fairies on it. The rabbit is upset about something. I don't know what it's upset about. He's back there thudding like crazy now. That's usually what they do when they get scared of something. Like when they got startled. So I'm not sure why he's back there thudding. Don't know what's going on. Okay, so that's the nightgown for her. I don't know if I like the nightgown. Maybe if I put a hat. On with it. This hat has a really cute bow. Cover up her little Elsie ears. Aw, you guys, look at that. Thank you for all the hearts and the likes. Isn't she so cute, little Ellie? The person who sculpted the silicone to make it look like a doll made it because a lady had a granddaughter. She made it for a lady who had a granddaughter, and then that lady's sister painted it. They're twins, the artists. So cute, the little baby. That's the little Ellie. Thank you for the hearts and the likes. Okay, let's put her back. I had two outfits. I wasn't sure if I should do another sleeper. This one's got hearts and flowers on it, and it's white with pink. But that's fine. I'll just keep it as this. Okay, so now put her in the bed. She's so little. And give her a blanket. There. Now I dropped the pacifier just that fast somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Whew. Because I really don't want to have to be looking for this tiny pacifier. And I also have a bottle that I got from the doll show as well. There we go. That's Ellie. You guys, the lighting is horrible. Let me try turning the light on again. Hold on a second. Not that. Okay, let me try turning it on and see what that does. Oh my gosh, it is hideous. It's just, you can't even, thanks for the likes, you can't even really see anything. Try that. I mean, I guess what I can try and do is turn up the brightness on my phone. I hope, I just hate to try and risk it. I'm thinking that if I try to turn the brightness on my phone, that is probably going to X us out of the live. So I better not do it. Thank you, sweetie. So cute. How much did the little baby doll cost? What is going on? I'm confused, said Jaquan. Credit. Can I see the rabbit? Sure, you can see the rabbit. Yo, my cousin had a rabbit too, and it was psycho if it was in its cage for too long. Okay, I'll show you guys the rabbit just a second. Um, Let me get it. Oh, Tammy, somebody wants to see you. Come on. They want to see you, Timmy, when you hand. I can't get the bunny rabbit. Come on. Sorry, I think it's because I should be sitting the other way. I don't know, just there he is. He's so cute. He's got a little fat bunny tail right there. It's so furry. His little bunny feet and his bunny ears. He's a Holland lop, so he has big floppy ears. Thank you, sweetie. Hello, Abello. Oh, and then you wanted to know how much the dolls cost. They're really expensive. They're like hundreds of dollars, these type of dolls. Say, look at me, everybody. I'm so cute and soft. Say, I got a fat little bunny tail. Woo, 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 woo. And my little bunny feet. He could be hungry. I don't know. There he is. You like that, Timmy? His name is Timmy. Timmy. Like Timmy Turner from what's that cartoon called? Fairly Odd Parents. He said, let me get down so I can get something to eat, please. There he is. Let's see. That's Timmy. His cute little mouth. His little eye. His little fuzzy thing. He's so little. He's like about 2 years old, I think. You wanted to get a doll, but notice they were like 200, but they're so cute. Yeah, sorry about that. Do you train him so he's relaxed? Well, I mean, he's domesticated, so he knows to let people hold him. He knows to let people pet him and stuff like that, and he will eat out of people's hands. So, yeah, he's a pretty good rabbit. He's a good little bunny rabbit boy. Okay, so I'm gonna put him back in his cage now. Sorry, Timmy. Okay, I don't know if I should have started reading first, because that's really what I had came online for. You think they sassy too? They are messy. Yes, they are messy. Cook Killer. They definitely are. And they are sassy too. Yeah. Okay. So now the reason why I came on live today because I was actually reading a story. So I don't know if people like to hear stories. I don't know if you guys like mysteries. I don't know if you like listening to audio books online. Um, or if you don't like hearing other people talk with reading a story, but that's what I was supposed to be doing. I should have started off with that, but it's almost time for me to get off of the live, so I don't know if I should read the story or not. If you guys are not interested in a story, I won't read it. I can always do it another night. So yeah, you guys can just say, like, yeah, nah, not into the story. But I was having fun reading on my own though. So that's just one of the hobbies that I like to do. I like to read. So, yeah, it's a pretty good book. So I don't want to bore people. If people don't like, um, like hearing someone read a story, I don't want to bore anybody. If should I start reading? Let me know if I should or not. I don't know. I mean, because it's in the middle of the I already started 3 chapters yesterday, and it's a mystery. So yeah. So should I start reading, you guys? If no one says anything, I'll read. I don't know. I like feel really awkward now because I'm starting after the live has already started almost an hour ago. So I'll just go ahead and start reading. And if anyone just doesn't want, if they don't, if people feel too bad to tell me that they don't want to hear the story, it's okay. If you decide to, um, like go to someone else's live, I won't feel bad. So, but I'll just start reading. And if people drop from the live, it's okay. I won't feel bad. Do as you like, says Nick Doe. Okay, thanks. You are really sweet. I don't really like stories, but I do have to get off here, so I'm sorry. It was so nice watching. You have earned my subscribe. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Can you read the book this night when you're about to go to bed? Yeah, I can read it when I'm about to go to bed too. It's in the United States. It is 7:53 p.m. where I am. So, yeah, but if you don't want to listen, it's okay. I understand. I'm just going to read like 3 chapters of it. So if anyone just wants to hang up because they don't want to be mean to me, it's okay. I understand. So I'm going to start with where I left off from yesterday. A lady was going outside. She was leaving the library and someone was trying to run her over with a car. So now we're about to find out who was trying to run her over. At least the roads were clear now. Last week, after a snowstorm, she had to walk for 3 days until the bicycle path was clear enough to be used again. With her long, curly blonde hair stuffed securely in her helmet as extra insulation, her ears were completely muffled, and it took her a second to register the sound of a car engine coming in her direction. She knew even with her blinky light on, she was not very visible, so she glanced over her shoulder to see where the car was, and her heart stopped in her throat. With its high beams on and its engine revving, the car was headed straight for her. A screech of brakes clawed the stillness of the winter air with a talon's sharp edge. Lindsey jumped off her bike while still in motion and yanked it with her onto the front lawn of the nearest house. The driver's side door of the car was shoved open, and Lindsey was sure she'd scared the poor driver as much as he'd scared her. "I'm all right," she called out. "Well, that's unfortunate." Lindsey reared back as if she'd been slapped. "Excuse me?" The person was short and tiny, and as she hopped onto the front lawn beside Lindsey, she was immediately recognizable. Marjorie Bilson. "You heard me," Marjorie snapped. "How dare you run Bill out of office? He was worked tirelessly all these years with little or no thanks, and then you come along and have him replaced with one of your cronies." There were so many things wrong with the venom Marjorie was spewing that Lindsey was at a loss as to where to begin in correcting her. "You're wrong," she said. "Liar," Marjorie accused. Her hair was disheveled, her coat wasn't buttoned, and she looked as if she were on the brink of having hysterics. "Marjorie, this really isn't the time or place to have a conversation like this," Lindsey said. "I'm working tomorrow. Why don't you come and see me at the library and we'll talk about it? You'd like that, wouldn't you?" Is everything all right out here?" Lindsey heard a storm door open on the house behind them and turned to see a man chugging down the walk. He was pulling his dressing robe tight around his middle as he hurried toward them. "We're okay," Lindsey said, realizing she was only speaking in the most general of terms, given that calling Marjorie okay was definitely stretching it. When Lindsey turned to address the man, Marjorie took the opportunity to hurry back into her car with the slam of her door and a squeal of wheels on icy blacktop. She was gone. "Did she hit you?" the man asked. "Are you sure you're all right?" Lindsey shook her head. "No, she didn't hit me." "You're shaking," he said. She looked down, and sure enough, her gloved fingers were trembling, and it wasn't from the cold. My wife and I were just making some tea. Would you care to join us? He asked. I'm Tom, by the way, Tom Rubinsky. Oh, thank you, Tom, she said. I'm Lindsey. I appreciate the offer, but I live just up the road. I'll be home in less than a minute. If you're sure, he said. He looked dubious, so Lindsey forced a smile, even though it was an effort. I'm sure, she said. Then she hesitated. Maybe he could help her with information. Tell me, do you know Marjorie Bilson? Batty Bilson, he asked. Is that who that was? Batty? Lindsey repeated. She didn't like where this was going. Yeah, I went to school with her, he said. She has issues. Is running people over with her car one of her issues? Lindsey asked. Not until tonight, Tom said. I'd say this is a first, but I can't swear to it. Do you suppose one of her issues could be Bill Scent? Lindsey went to lift her bike off Tom's lawn. He stepped forward and took it out of her hands and lowered it to the walk for her. Thank you, she said. Bill Scent, the old guy who lives on the Scent estate on the other side of the bay, the one with the unnaturally black hair and twitchy eyebrow? It was a good description and made Lindsey smile. The same. I can't say for sure. I do know that Batty tends to love with her whole heart, but not all of her mind, if you know what I mean. If I remember right, she had to go away for a couple of years in high school because she developed an unhealthy crush on our chemistry teacher, he said. Interesting. Lindsey wondered if she was seeing a pattern here. Wow, so Batty has a thing for Bill. Man, he's old enough to be her father, possibly her grandfather. Ew, they said together. So why is she coming after you? Tom asked. Does she think you're competition for his pruny old heart? Oh no, Lindsey said with an adamant head shake. But she seems to think I had something to do with his being removed as president of the Friends of the Library. I didn't, but she didn't seem overly concerned that she almost ran me down to discuss it. Tom gave a low whistle, and then he peered at her eyes, which were her only visible feature through the layers of scarf and bike helmet she had on her head. Oh, hey, Lindsey, I know you, he said, or at least I've heard about you. You're Lindsey Norris, the new librarian. Not terribly new, she said. I've been here almost a year. You've turned my buddy Sully into a regular library user, he said. His eyes were teasing, and Lindsey was happy that her scarf covered the hot flush that she could feel warming her face. He's an avid reader, she said. He has excellent taste in fiction. Yeah, well, I don't think it's the books that have him giving his library card such a workout. Tom, what's going on? A petite woman also in her bathrobe came hurrying down the walkway. Your tea is getting cold. Gina, come and meet Lindsey, he said. He turned to Lindsey and said, This is my wife, Gina. The corners of his eyes crinkled and his voice dropped a note or two when he said her name. It was obvious that Tom Rubinsky was very much in love with his wife. He looped his arm over his wife's shoulders and said, Check this out. Batty Bilson has a thing for that old coot Bill Scent, and she nearly ran Lindsey down because Batty thinks she's responsible for his being booted off of the library's friends group. Gina stared at her husband and then at Lindsey. Really? That's mental even for Marjorie. Are you all right? Would you like some tea? Lindsey glanced at the small woman and smiled. No, thank you. Really, I'm fine. She recognized Gina Rubinsky immediately. She had been in the library several times over the past few months checking out baby name books. Lindsey wondered if the Rubinskys were expecting, but knowing it was none of her business, she didn't dare ask. That did not stop her from looking at Gina's belly, however. If she was pregnant, she wasn't showing. You'd better get back inside, Tom. Your patient needs you, Gina said. Oh, gotta go, he said. I'm a vet, and we have a golden retriever about to deliver her first litter. It looks to be 9 pups. We can't even come up with that many names. Lindsey smiled. So that explained the baby name books. Nice to meet you, Tom. You too, Lindsey, he said. Then he grinned and added, say hi to Sully for me. His wife glanced between them with a curious look but didn't comment, for which Lindsey was grateful. Good night, Gina, she said. Good night. Lindsey climbed on her bike and with a wave she pedaled to the end of the street. She was pleased that she only glanced over her shoulder 5 times to see a baddie sedan appeared out of nowhere. This clinched it. Between the weather and this near-death experience, she was definitely going to have to look into buying some sort of car. At the very least, she could get a motorized scooter, which would still be ecological but would give her enough speed to outrun Batty if she had another episode. And maybe she'd start carrying a bag of nails with her too, Lindsey thought grimly as she shut her bike in the standalone garage, relieved to be safe at home. The weather remained unforgivingly windy and bitter for the next week. Interesting, interestingly, interestingly, every time Lindsey and Beth left the library in the evening and started to unchain their bikes, Sully happened by on his way home from the pier. It's too cold for that, he shouted out the window. Hop in and I'll give you a ride. Lindsay's mama hadn't raised her to be a fool, and neither had Beth. They let Sully load their bikes up into the back of his ancient pickup truck and happily climbed into the toasty warm cab. For unknown reasons that Lindsey did not dwell upon, Sully always dropped off Beth first, which meant she got to ride in the middle of the bench seat and spend a few minutes alone with him every evening on the ride from Beth's house to her own. Sully was the original quiet man. He didn't talk much, but asked good questions. He listened attentively, as if what she had to say genuinely interested him. Having been engaged to a law professor who quite loved the sound of his own voice, Lindsey wasn't used to being the loquacious one. It was a novel experience, but still, she found herself more and more curious about the boat captain beside her. Do you offer many boat tours in the winter? She asked. After December, we're pretty much shut down on tours until the spring. Everyone loves to see the Thumb Islands lit up for the holidays, but after that, we're mostly a taxi service for the island residents and their visitors until the end of March. Do your parents stay on their island in the winter? She asked, wondering if it was terribly cold out there. Yep, he said. Mary and I tried to talk them into getting a nice apartment off the island, but no dice. They're on one of the few islands with electricity, and they have a wood-burning stove. I understand why they stay out there. It's over 10 acres of peace and quiet. Their island has 3 houses on it, and their neighbors stay out there, too. So if there was an emergency, there are people around, but they are getting older. His voice trailed off, and he stared out the windshield of the truck toward the islands, which were only visible by their lights reflected on the water. From what Lindsey had read about the history of the islands, she had learned that the Thumb Islands were an archipelago of 70 to 100 islands, depending on how you quantified an island. Some people counted the rocks that jutted up out of the water. Others felt that there must be some sign of life for it to be a true island. Sully's parents lived on Bell Island, one of the largest and one of the few populated all year round. Sully parked in the gravel drive beside the house where Lindsey rented an apartment. From their vantage point on the raised cliffs that overlooked Briar Creek Bay and the islands, Lindsey could see Bell Island and noticed that the Sullivans still had their lights on. She wondered what it would be like to live out there, with the constant sound of the surf as background music and the cries of the seagulls as the day's conversation. After last week's altercation with the screeching Marjorie Bilson, it seemed a nicer option. Which reminded her, She had been meaning to ask Sully about that episode. So how did you find out about Marjorie? She asked him as he opened his door and circled the truck to open her door for her. He hadn't said so, but given that he'd been driving her and Beth home every night for a week now, she couldn't believe it was just coincidence. Let's talk inside where it's warm, he said. He gave her a hand down from the truck and then lifted her bike out of the back and walked it to the garage, where she kept it out of the inclement winter weather. Lindsey followed. She hoped she hadn't put him off by asking about Marjorie. She held the door open for him while he wheeled the bike inside. She closed the door behind him and stepped back. They were both bundled against the cold, him less than her, with his knit cap and pea coat. She had on her puffy coat with a hat and scarf and gloves. Pretty much the only skin she had left exposed was her eyelids. Sully took her arm and led her across the frozen ground to the walkway. Spots of ice made the walk precarious, and she picked her way carefully, aware of his hand at her elbow. If she slipped, Sully was ready to catch her. She found that comforting. Her landlord and crafternoon buddy, Nancy Peyton, lived on the first floor, and Nancy's nephew, Charlie, lived in between them on the second. He was an aspiring rock star who worked for Sully's tour boat company. Since winter work was slow, he had packed up his band in his ancient van and migrated south to play some gigs for the month of January. Lindsey liked Charlie, but she had to admit it was nice not to watch her furniture dance across the apartment floor during his weekly band practice. The front door was never locked, and Lindsey opened it and stepped into the vestibule. The heat from the steam radiator fogged up the window but made the small entryway toasty warm. Lindsey pulled off her hat and unwound her scarf. To answer your question, my friend Tom told me that Marjorie tried to run you off the road the other night, he said. When Lindsey met his gaze, she could see worry in his blue eyes. Ah, I thought it was something like that, she said. I really don't think she'll do it again. No, probably not, he said, although he didn't sound as sure as she would have liked. But since I get off work about the same time as you do, and it's dark out there, I think we can maintain our current carpool situation for a while, don't you? Lindsey nodded. She had to admit it was a bit of a relief to know she could depend upon Sully to get her and Beth home, at least until Marjorie calmed down about the whole Bill sent thing or she found the time to buy a car. Have you seen Marjorie since the incident? He asked. No, she said. Mostly sure that she didn't mean to scare me like that. Sure she did, he said. Really? Marjorie lacks impulse control, he said. She always has. Has? Lindsey began to ask if Marjorie had ever hurt anyone before, but Nancy's door opened and she stuck her head out. What are you two doing out here? She asked, as if she'd been waiting for them. Come on in. I just made some fresh gingerbread and I have some hot cider on the stove. Lindsey and Sully exchanged a bemused glance before stepping into her apartment. Nancy was renowned in town for her cookie baking skills. Fresh gingerbread? They didn't need to be asked twice. Not wanting to worry Nancy, Lindsey changed the conversation to Charlie Peyton and his band. He had been texting Nancy from every city he played in. The messages read like he was an academic exchange student, but even Nancy knew better. With a laugh, she dug out her phone and read his latest message. Dear Nanners, our gig went well in Charlotte. Lots of college students turned out, and we had a great debate on the economics of the pitcher versus the pint. We then took turns driving the big bus in our hotel room. Off to Savannah, love, Charlie. Then she translated. I believe driving the big bus is a euphemism for getting so drunk he threw up in the toilet. Nancy made a big circle of her arms and lowered her head. Sully and Lindsey laughed over their cider and gingerbread, and Lindsey was grateful for the diversion. She didn't like to acknowledge that the incident with Marjorie had her looking over her shoulder, but there was no denying that she had her guard up, especially when riding her bike. Mercifully, tomorrow was the first meeting of the Friends of the Library with Carrie as president. Lindsey could only hope that once the first meeting was a done deal, they could start to move forward and put the hurt feelings and hostility behind them, way behind them. Of course, a lot of that would depend upon whether Marjorie showed up and tried to do anyone any injury or not. Okay, so that's the end of chapter. Thank you for all the likes, you guys. As I was reading, I didn't realize people were giving me likes. No, it's not the Bible, Rosa Ortiz. But yeah, thank you for listening to the story. I'm gonna read chapter 5 and maybe chapter 6 tomorrow, so I'll stop here and pick up. So thank you for joining tonight's live, you guys. Until next time, until tomorrow, bye.